And we're live with this bike life. PJ in the background, but nobody actually here. So we'll jump in. Welcome back to another episode of Disc Bike Life. I'm Caleb. I'm on the disc golf side.
I'm Leroy. I'm on the bike side.
And then together we got some life experience, so we'll also talk about that. We ignore PJ in the back as always. A lot of this show is really just going to be kind of what comes to our fancy, right? Disc golf related.
Topic comes up.
Yeah, whatever topic comes up, disc golf related, bike related,
Life related.
or life related. And that's us, baby. So, we're going to go ahead and jump into this with Yezin. First, we want to actually do our plugs.
Hair plugs?
Chain Monster on Instagram and on Facebook. That's where you can find me. Also, my name's Caleb Henson. You can find me as well on Instagram and Facebook. And we have
Leroy from Leroy's Bike Works, and Instagram is Leroy's Bike Works, Facebook is Leroy's Bike Works. Pretty simple that way. So, here in Lakeland, Florida.
Cool.
Yep.
You got any shout outs?
I'm on socials under my name, Yezin Sharkus. So...
Wait until you see how he spells his last name. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump into this bad boy.
Not a Sharkass?
Well, missing an S.
So, well, yeah, one S away from
Sharkass.
being the great white. So I've known Yezin, how long have we known each other? Probably about 3, 4, 5 years, something like that, give or take?
Something like that.
We know each other disc golf related, just met on the course, some work parties and playing rounds. I think Leroy and Yezin are kind of in the same
About the same, but we met at doubles.
Yeah, Leroy gets to meet a lot of people just with, owning the shop that people buy discs from and everything else.
That was cooler than that.
Well, do you play?
Really? Who had to be emotional support for you this weekend?
My bottle of coffee, coffee cold brew. That was my emotional support for the weekend. The rain hugged me real well too.
Nasty time.
Nasty weather we had this weekend, but
Subtropical. Yeah.
So known Yezin for a while. We kind of all known each other probably close to the length of
about the same 5-ish.
Yeah, 5 years or so. I started playing in 2018.
2018. So I knew Yezin post Big Boy, but apparently, you were on the plus side.
Yeah, plus.
Yeah, on the disc golf side of things. So let's just kind of jump into. So your main hobby is
disc golf,
right?
Yeah,
and
I started in beginning of 2018. My first time I ever played was in December of 2017.
Okay.
And I was like 360, 370 at the time. I'd been battling heart failure for the last 5 or 6 years. I started with cancer.
The heart failure, like weight-related heart failure, or just
no,
a
it was
genetic type thing?
It was from the cancer, actually. So
okay.
I got cancer in 2013. I was diagnosed. I did 8 months of chemotherapy and then 36 days of radiation. And that was all within a year time span. So I was 2013.
A lot packed in.
Yeah, that was basically my whole year was just that.
Wow.
Right?
And what type of cancer?
I had a tumor in my chest. It was B-cell lymphoma is what they call it. Non-Hodgkin's. Yeah. So luckily I was able to get into remission, but the number one side effect of the chemotherapy they use on me is heart failure. So literally a year and day after I was diagnosed with cancer, I went to the emergency room. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't do anything. And they told me I had heart failure, and that was the likely cause because I didn't have any signs of it before.
Right.
I mean, obviously I was young, 23. You don't really expect to have a tumor in your chest.
Right.
So, anyways, I battled that until 28, something like that. I was 28 years old. I was huge. I was always sick. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't.
Right.
I was not healthy because I'd been battling it for so long.
Right.
I didn't lose enough weight. And
the treatments and stuff definitely don't help with
a
lot of that kind of stuff. So we already kind of know, but we'll like move forward into this a little bit. So you're overweight and everything. So like disc golf was kind of a primary catalyst for like
losing the weight, right?
Yeah, it kind of showed me like how out of shape I was.
Right.
You know, like how really, because when you're living day-to-day life, not doing much,
Right.
you don't really notice what's normal, what's not. You know, it's not until you try to be athletic or you try to do something that you can't really realize.
Right. Trust me, I get it. I've run out of breath tying my shoes. So.
That's what we're wearing here, dude.
If there's a hill I gotta walk in disc golf, I hope I throw farther than everybody else.
I like those slip-ons.
Yeah, slip-ons are great.
The shoe that shall not be named.
But yes.
Let's see.
Yeah.
3 out of 4. Yep.
3 out of 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is our actual company dress attire for the show.
Right. Because we're hoping to get sponsored by them.
Yeah, you know, hey, dude,
Free
you
pairs.
know, you wanna come hang out?
Yep.
So anyway, so you started really kind of getting into disc golf.
Yeah, I started playing more and more. I used it as a reason to exercise. I'd already started working out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I was always scared about starting because when you're that unhealthy, my doctor just kept making me feel so cautious and scared to work out and try to lose weight.
Are you concerned you're going to have a heart attack in the middle of the course kind of thing? Or
yeah,
like if you trip and fall?
You know, she told me my heart is weaker, so you could just potentially overstress it and
so if you get going too much, if you went for a jog or something, it could have been a big problem. She warned me about keeping my heart rate too high and it not coming down and stuff like that. So it's kind of a gradual thing to lose the weight then, because you couldn't do it aggressively.
Yeah, I couldn't do it aggressively. Right.
Okay, that's kind of wild actually.
So I started working out and I started feeling better.
Okay.
And then I started playing more and more golf. I started using the exercise. When Lois opened, I would play 3-4 rounds when I got done in a day by myself. That's how everybody started to see me, is they would just see me looping the course, because I would just put my headphones in and ignore everyone and play. And back then, there was nobody out there anyways. I'd see 2 people.
Shout out to another friend, Josh Slager. He actually did the same thing as another buddy in our group. And he lost, 100 pounds or something like that. And doing multiple rounds and honestly just eating better and stuff like that, which, all of us could stand to do that.
And biking now. So.
And biking,
he rucks now, too.
Yeah, he rucks.
Listen, this guy, I wouldn't want to, get in a fight with him. I know that dude's a gorilla at this point in time. Like, good night.
Yeah.
So you're big into tournaments, like I am.
Yes. I do like the competitive side.
What's your pros and cons?
Like compared to casual,
just in general. Like, what do you like about tournaments, not like about tournaments?
I like about tournaments because I can be competitive and I can almost be how I am casually. I just kind of joke nicely at people,
right?
And but I still get to compete, and it doesn't matter if you're shanking it and I'm lacing it, or vice versa.
Yeah.
It's you can have a good time, but it's serious,
right?
It's competitive. So.
Yeah, which is, honestly, same for me. I would say a lot of my favorite things about doing tournaments, especially nowadays, I got a lot of friends in the disc golf world, so I get to go play and hang out with my buddies for the weekend, and so it's always
weird
like
for
having
me not to know someone.
Exactly. There's nowhere you show up where you don't know at least 10 people.
Yeah, and at least one of those people is on my card.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So, is there cons or a con or something that annoys you or?
Oh, I have some pet peeves.
Is that come with a list of names? I got a pet peeve. It starts with Johnny Two Throws, or is it actually a legit pet peeve?
Captain Overstep.
That warm up 3 times before they even.
Oh, dude!
Listen here.
Hey, I cannot stand the people that psych me out every time. I expect them to throw.
You break your ankles when it's go.
Yeah. Dude, the guy that walks up perfect, the same speed he's going to throw at, and it's a warm-up throw, gets me every time.
I'll say my biggest pet peeve when it comes to something like that, it's the dude that takes forever to go, takes his time, warms up, does all this stuff, he's going to putt and whatever else, and he's going to putt and everything else, and then just duffs it right into the ground. You made me wait that long so you could suck?
Yes.
Move on. Miss quickly like the rest of us.
I hate when you can tell that they're unsure of themselves.
My word!
They're just
they're trying to talk themselves into doing good, and it's just do that quicker.
Well, should I go 80%?
And that's one of the reasons I actually stopped doing a big routine, is because to me, when I play casually, I just pick my shot, I throw, I putt, I do my thing, and I found myself being 2 different people when it came to tournaments and
Yeah.
And casually. Because casually, I never think about it at all. I just walk up and do it, and whatever happens, happens. But I was thinking about it in tournaments.
Yeah.
It was driving me nuts. So I stopped doing the pre-walk up. I stopped doing the pre-putts. I just walk up and do my motion. And
Let her
go.
fly. Yeah. Don't think about it. It's going to work or it's not.
Exactly.
Well, we haven't really. We've done a couple of recordings now, and there's some episodes and stuff, and we haven't really talked about. I mean, tournaments in the biking world are huge. I mean, they're phrased differently, right? But like races and stuff. Yeah, Carter Road, right down the road, we know is like a big mountain biking scene, like in the state. Like it's up there.
One of the most technical courses out of the racing.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are some of the pros and cons for that?
For
just in general, going and doing racing, like prepping for racing, going and actually competing in the races, all that kind of stuff.
So I would say for probably someone getting into it is getting overpsyched by everyone else around you,
right?
Because you got people like
see
now,
people and they're way better than I can. How can I keep?
Well, there's that, but they break it up in different ways. But now, I mean, you're looking at there's teams that show up with like professional 10x20s wearing cooling vests as they're on a trainer warming up, and and I'm just the guy that brings my cooler, my friends, stuff like that. I'm like, you taking this too seriously for like $100 check?
Me and Yezin laugh, and Leroy knows this, but we laugh because in the disc golf world, there's plenty of players that are not good, and they come dressed up like Tiger Woods.
Oh yeah,
and then like. Is that the first tree? I'm going to hit that. Like, they tried the fairway, so we laugh because they're dressed to the nines, and it's like, oh my word, you stink.
And I think that's where people get all hyped up for that stuff. It's just you got to go there and have that fun with it, and kind of relax and bring it down.
Yeah,
right.
You have to have fun. That's the main point.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that's to me with anything, even like the few disc golf tournaments I've done, or even when I play casual with you guys, it does. Like I get in my own head sometimes. I'm like, oh, I'm playing with higher ranked people.
Kind of psych yourself out a little
bit.
Right.
And then like when we did that fun round thing, I started joking around and cutting up towards the end. Like I'm hitting that tree.
Yeah.
What did I end up doing? Didn't hit the tree. I laced it.
Yeah. The last doubles we did where me and you partnered up and played. I mean, towards the end, it started just laughing and everything else. Part of it is we gave, I don't know how many, like you gave away like a dozen discs. I gave away a handful and stuff like that. And I mean, it turned into one of those.
You had a great turnout. I wish I could have made them.
Yeah, well,
we had a good crowd. But it turned into one of those things. It's like if we won, all we were going to do is win our disc back. Mm-hmm. So we had nothing to lose out of the deal, other than just not having a good time. So it's like let's just have it, like let's beat people, and then donate it anyways. Like that's how good we are. We beat you, and we still give you prizes.
I've never said I'm that
peasants.
good. I was really good the first. I was really good the first like 6 holes hitting trees. Even on 11, somehow hitting a tree.
Wait, which tree? The one right beside the tee?
No. We were playing all shorts because that's what we threw everybody off.
Yeah.
So.
That's right.
Yeah. We threw everyone off. We played all shorts minus 10.
But we played 10 long.
Yeah, exactly.
How many people threw in the water?
I think 2.
So Trey threw into the water twice. And he's the only person that was out there that could have gotten to the basket.
Right. Yeah.
But he flipped it over. He just
apparently I don't know. I didn't
first
watch.
one flipped over, and then he's like, "I'm doing the same thing again." It sounded like so.
That kid's got a cannon, man.
Yeah.
You got any cons in the biking world? Tournaments, races?
Man, I would say the only con right now in the realm is just cost. Like we brought that up even with cost right now with some of the stuff is getting big.
Yeah, and there's not like a lot of like big prizes in mountain biking racing, right?
No, and that's kind of hitting to that too. Like there used to be a time where we had these upper tier and lower tiers, and the lower tier guys were the fun group is you're racing for swag, like you're racing to get a multi-tool, a CO2, whatever. Like if I put
in the disc golf world with amateur versus professional.
Now, like we're really not seeing that, and this is maybe me getting my pulpit right now with this one, but like there's a race coming up. We're the only shop out of 7 races that's literally donating for that race.
Do y'all have to do that? You're choosing to do that? You're trying to stick to like the original roots? Is that the deal?
It's the other two. It's like us sticking to our roots. Like step up because we're the little tiny bike shop. There's bike shops that make hand over fist money, and I get it. They do stuff that way. But I believe like since day one, the reason why I walk away from what I was doing before at another shop to do this, kind of hint on the sofa thing. This is a community, and got to get back to the community, and we'll grow that type of stuff. And it's going to be huge prize give out for that one for this race coming up. But we're really the only shop that's doing that.
Yeah.
You know, out of all these shops, I hate to call out, like I said, other places, but there's this little tiny race promoter that literally in the Southeast, they do all these events. And here you have this 14-year-old kid that's racing, and yeah, they'll get a medal if they get on the podium.
Yeah.
But what is their physical or what is their tangible compensation for putting it out there on the line and racing their butts off?
Yeah, so I would say I have that same. We're good on time, yeah?
Yeah, we're 16.
Okay, so I got a couple minutes I can get on my soapbox with you. It's the same. So I play professionally disc golf.
Local pro.
Professionally in disc golf is kind of a loose term when you're just a local player. Like, I'm good for my local town, but like going out on the road and stuff like that, I'm going to get waxed, and not even
local
poetically, just waxed. And so, you know, I pay
nice on paper.
I pay more money to be a professional
local pro
PDGA member. I pay more money than amateurs do. You don't get anything for signing up playing a tournament.
Nope.
You pay more to just go get waxed unpoetically. And then you just walk away with, well, did you have fun?
Right.
So it doesn't make, like, you know, you go look at, I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, but you go look at like real golf tournaments, actual golf tournaments. You know, the local tournaments, those guys they're just competing for swag and whatever else, but none of them are going on tour. Disc golf definitely has a lot of competitors that have a certain amount of delusion that they're just going to go on tour, and I'm going to tell y'all right now, no, you won't. I broke some people's hopes and dreams. I know. I'm sorry. You can still play. For the love of God, I'll keep playing.
Right.
Leroy will keep playing.
Right.
Yezin will keep playing. Like, and we're all
local pro
competitive in our own rights. But you know, we're not banking our career on doing that.
But it's about growing the community. It goes back to that type of stuff.
It goes back to that type of stuff for me, for sure. Is, you know, hanging out with friends and everything else. So, I mean, that would be, I guess, probably my con for tournaments. The upside, I think I kind of already said it. The upside for tournaments for me is I got friends all over the state of Florida. And I get to see them semi-regularly because of tournaments. That part's cool. You get to establish friendships, you get to make connections and everything else and rub elbows with people, and honestly, it's just the best.
Yeah, you meet a lot of really cool people.
You meet a lot of really cool
from
people.
all over. And you know what? And
I would say you meet more cool people than people you don't like. Right. So, but anyways, I think we're going to wrap it up on this one. Remember, you got Leroy's and Leroy's Bike Works, Caleb, Yezin. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this video. Please, it would help us out. We really mean it. See ya. Are we recording this?
This is good.